All
Hello.
right.
Good morning. How's
What?
it going?
Oh, good morning. I am traveling today, so very excited to be talking about koalas on my way to Santa Cruz.
It feels totally applicable, especially seeing as I see the peak of a small child behind you. I feel like
There
koalas,
is,
cute koalas is a good thing.
yep. Indeed, indeed. There's a couple of them back there,
Oh
keep
yeah,
them caged.
lurking around. It's a good
Yep.
thing.
That's right. How are you today?
Very cheerful, very well. Excited to excited to dive into this next chapter of koaladom.
Yes, indeed. Hug life all around.
Indeed,
Um,
indeed.
what I'm particularly excited about, and I think little context for anyone that's a little newer to what we do here with a lot of these projects at Macroverse. What we've been doing over the past year and a half is working with our own projects, with different communities that we're partnered with, as well as projects that have come under the Macroverse umbrella, which KIA is now one of those, very happily. But we've been, developing comics around these different characters. And so, the context that, I like to always kind of think through the lens of is that you owner of a KIA
Hmm.
koala, you own a character in this universe of the KIA. And we have some ideas around how we'll be expanding this universe and kind of the types of stories that we're going to tell and the broader context of the koala intelligence agency and kind of what that means and how that can play with other characters and collections. There's a lot of fun stuff kind of in the background, but we wanted to do something a little new with this collection and with the holders and owners of these characters to try something that we think could be really fun and kind of a very quick way to demonstrate the kinds of stories that could be told, just the vibe for the koalas, which to me is a little different than some of the other projects that we brought on or that we've developed, where
Definitely.
many of our other projects tend to be a little more I don't know, mature is not necessarily
Harder
the right
edged, I
word.
think might be the way to do it. Harder
Yeah,
edged.
harder edge. So robots and samurais and more blood probably than we're gonna see in the KIA. Although um, but this
I
being
don't
kind
know.
of the
R-rated koala drama, I feel like, is
I
something. It's
mean,
an untapped potential market. It could be a lot of fun.
this is an untapped market. Although I think as many people that are in the community know, one of the things we'll be doing is stripping out some of those kind of more mature traits and replacing them with things that kind of embrace the cuter, fuzzier side of life.
Cute and
So
fuzzy.
we
Yep.
yeah. So
Oh, we just lost Eben. Ah, never mind. He's coming back in. Um, oh, hello. That was
Oh,
quick.
sorry. Let me just wrap up that last thought. So I was gonna say this is kind of our first cute and fuzzy animal NFT project, and it won't be the last. It won't be the last one that we have this kind of opportunity to build out this more family friendly, all ages type of storytelling around. And so to that end, this is a little bit of a new twist on what we've been doing. And I think it's going to be very fun for everyone involved. So why don't you kind of give a little more details around what that
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we are basically heading off we're going to be starting this kind of new interesting thing. Some of you may know that obviously we've been doing a bunch of stuff over the last kind of couple of years with as everyone was saying, going into communities, all these fantastic characters that communities have, developing stories around, teaching storytelling, developing some stories. People get to then pitch stories, and those stories get greenlit, upvoted by the community, and then greenlit into production within each of these things. So we're doing it right now with Wanderers. We just had a big kind of casting announcement and series of shorts that were in production on there. We'll be doing the same thing with GSA. We just announced and we're up and running with doing that with Vogu as well. Like lots and lots of fun being had with these slightly kind of longer form series, really digging into who these characters are, what are the stories that can be told around them, what do the community think that people can be doing with these, and all that kind of fun stuff. And we've had so much kind of great creative energy coming out and amazing ideas and left field things, stuff that I think is the joy of the Web3 kind of ethos and way, is these things that we would never normally have thought of are now bubbling up and coming through. And it's so exciting seeing this kind of, font of creativity coming up. It's just been great. And with Koalas especially, we kind of looked at what the KIA is and what the community is and what the nature of these characters are, and felt like, all right, let's do something a little different. We have been in this mode of like, recently it's these 2-page comics, 12 to 14 panels of short stories that we've been telling, and those have been really fun to see kind of bubbling up. And we've also then done longer form 8-page episodes before that with the Project Bushidos, which was also amazing, a ton of great stuff coming up there. However, we felt like the Koalas lean into something a little bit different, and for that, our inspiration is more the kind of daily, old school daily newspaper strips, 3-panel comics, really like set up content, set up punchline, set up punchline, set up punchline. If it's Garfield, if it's even, frankly, the kind of Gary Larson Far Side stuff, if it's any number of these things kind of in and around, we felt like that format would contribute to or would be supportive of the KIA and what that ethos is, in a way that a longer form thing wouldn't, and allow just a ton of people from across the community to do a couple of different things, pitch their characters into existing stories that we will then develop, or have their own little ideas for single panels that we'll be looking and greenlighting, and just give this incredible kind of array and versatility to these little quick fun things that we can be doing in this kind of unique way that a lot of, as everyone was saying, a lot of the other projects that we've been involved with don't, I think, lend themselves to in quite the same way. So yeah, that's kind of where we're kicking off, and that's the direction we're going. And Eben, you want to say some more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I think here's what's so fun about it. So it's like, Macroverse is all about creating content, creating stories, telling stories, and bringing this idea of owning characters in these worlds and in these larger storylines in a way that's never been possible for this.
Yep. And he's just gone again. Oh no, he's back. That's very funny.
Sorry, that's very weird. All right, bear with me here. This is the joy of the hotspot, I think. But this is what blockchain allows us to do. That is the unlock, is the superpower here, is being able to create and own a character that can become part of a larger entertainment franchise that you participate in any upside around. So each of the characters featured in these comic strips will come from your characters, will come from owned Koalas, will come from the NFTs themselves. And so that's what we want to invite you to do today, is to take your Koalas, submit them in a Twitter thread that we're going to pin to the top of the Koala Entertainment Agency.
Koala Entertainment Agency. It is becoming the Koala Entertainment Agency. There we go.
The KIA, soon to be the KEA. We can, I'll have to iterate on that. But we'll pin it to the top of the profile on Twitter, and then just submit your characters and any short character descriptions, ideas. If you have story pitch ideas for these kind of 3-panel, or as Adam said, I'd say 1 to 3 panel,
1 to 3,
yes, comic strip ideas. These can be memes, they can be funny, they can be about the activities of the intelligence agency. One of the things that we've been talking about as some context for the story is that what's cool about what I think we want to do with the KIA as a larger entertainment franchise is that it's not just about koalas. Like, these are koalas that live in a world of animal characters. And so I think as we embrace this kind of family-friendly approach and the comic strip aesthetic, hold on one call. So as we embrace this family-friendly aesthetic and the types of stories that we can tell in this comic strip format, there's a lot of opportunity to think about like, oh, you've actually also got a subduct that you want to, include as a character that your koala is talking to. Like, throw that in the submission and the thread. So there's a chance to bring other characters into this. There's a chance to cross pollinate with other communities, which we'll be looking to do as well. Or there's just a chance to go like, hey, I've got these 10 koalas, what are they doing today? At the agency, out in the world, really just the sky's the limit with these ideas. But I think we do want to lean into the YA, family friendly,
Very
all
much.
ages, fun, and just again, embrace memes, embrace humor, embrace little bits of action adventure in that context. I think Calvin and Hobbes is another good
Calvin and Hobbes are great.
comparison
Yep.
here. Only the greatest of all time, perhaps, but just keep the bar at a reasonable
Yeah.
level.
Pretty much like Calvin and Hobbes, the Far
yeah.
Side, right? And then kind of everything else after that. Yeah.
Agreed.
But that's what we do. We just want to exceed those two. It's fine. It's going to be easy.
Exactly.
We've got this. Yeah.
Exactly. And then what's the plan for these? So we'll, essentially we'll have them, you'll submit them in this thread. We're going to bring on an artist that's going to be the artist or one of the artists that creates these individual strips. And then as we start to build up a number of them, we'll start releasing them on social media. We'll start releasing them, both in our Web2 app, which is, live right now, which you can go download on iOS and Android, the Macroverse app. And ultimately, we'll do a print collection of them as well as we get to a point where we have enough strips built up. And critically and importantly, because you own these characters, those that get featured in these various strips will also participate in any revenue generated from anything that becomes a product like that. So I think that's the exciting part of this. As we build all these different types of entertainment experiences with these different characters, with these collections in different formats, being able to see your characters start, perhaps just as a character in a single panel or over a few panels, but potentially expand into something larger over time. I think that's the thing that gets really exciting as we build this out.
No, for sure. And I think that is the benefit of this, like Evan was saying, of the Web3, this ecosystem, this world, this technology that we've got. It really is about the ownership of these digital assets and then the owners of those things getting to benefit from them. And so absolutely, we'll be kind of we have a number of ideas around what these 3-panel strips could be, as it were. We're completely open to anyone else who has good ideas. Dear God, bring them forward. Like, we really, really want to, as much as possible, bring these ideas from the community. But also, if you've got a concept for like, oh, I could do this, or it's this, we could do a run about these characters, or how about exploring these things? Or definitely, as Evan said, keeping it, YA, funny, humorous, memeable, short. These little, we want these to be the kind of things that can be easily shared and proliferate. But the joy of that does then mean if this starts to take off, great. Digital collection of this, absolutely. Print collections, absolutely. Could these become, daily calendar things? Like, absolutely. Like the ways this world could expand and this project could expand is really unique, certainly in the ones that we're working with, and I think has the potential to do very, very well indeed in this way. And again, we want everyone who are the holders of these things to benefit exponentially from that, which is it's just going to be a fun little bit. And I think, again, for us, we have ideas about this stuff, but we want to hear your ideas more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think just to reiterate next steps, so I will post a Twitter thread after this live stream. We'll ask you to post a picture of your character and then just any ideas off the top of your head. Nothing you need to stress about, but it's like if you have personality ideas for your characters, if you have, little jokes that occur to you around your characters. If you think like, oh, this guy clearly loves strawberries but hates pizza, like that's a good opportunity to just note any kind of those ideas that could become the fodder for these daily strips. And so I think the way to think about this is if you have specific story ideas, by all means, throw those into the tweet with your characters, but also just really feel free to just spitball ideas, concepts, personalities, a particular moment in time when Koala 673 was 3 years old. He fell out of a tree, and that's haunted him his entire life. Like, whatever comes to mind. Um,
Hmm.
for something that could become, a piece of this kind of strip. And I think the fun piece of this as well is as the artist comes on board, I think, this is an area where we're really going to find just that perfect koala intelligence agency, entertainment agency artist who can take those ideas and kind of synthesize them and synergize them and build these strips around them. And so think
Yep.
of this as the inspiration for what will become just a whole bunch of really fun, shareable, memeable, things that ultimately we'd like to see kind of take over the timeline in a very fun way.
Oh God, yes. No. So I think that's it. Yeah, as everyone was saying, if you have ideas around your characters, great, put them up there. And the one thing I would say for this, not that this community is in any way guilty of this, but I just always want to be cognizant of this. This is all about just creative outflow, right? It's just about put ideas up. Don't care if you think they're good or bad. I don't care if you think someone else's ideas are good or bad. It's just about support. It's just about putting the stuff down, because the last thing we want to do, and because we've seen it happen again and again, is like, oh, and for myself, it's like, oh, you start to have an idea and someone goes, well, that's kind of dumb, and then he shuts you down immediately. So that's the one thing like we absolutely don't want to get any of at this stage is the kind of negative criticism. Yes, and is great. So yeah, you've got this great idea, you've got this fun thing, you've got this koala fighting an emu in the outback. Great. Yes, and what if you had this second koala doing this other thing, or what if you had this? Now I'm lost, right? There are camels in the outback, so maybe you have a camel character you want to throw into this thing. Like all those yes ands, brilliant, love it, bring them on. We just do want to be cognizant of and aware of and wary of not denigrating anything unfairly, because we don't. The last thing we want to do is someone's first idea, maybe it isn't very good, but so what? But what if their third idea is an absolute winner? They would never have got to that third idea if they'd been shut down on the first one. So we just want to create that safe space for everyone to kind of play, throw stuff at the wall, have fun, fundamentally have fun. Like that is more than anything else. This is just about enjoying the process, enjoying the community, enjoying the camaraderie, and then as these start to come together, enjoying the hell out of the end result, because it's going to be really, really cool.
What I heard there is there are only good koalas and there are only good ideas. So you never know what thing is going to spark something from somebody else, or what the artist is going to interpret as like something that becomes one of the best or funniest or most adorable strips. So yeah, there's no bad ideas. Just put it all out there.
I take umbrage with the idea of no bad koalas, because I feel like the bad koala could be kind of.
Oh, you better watch it. We're in Koala Land at the moment. You better watch that.
We're in what? Sorry.
We're in Koala Land at the moment.
This is true. No, I'm just saying your koala may have their own, special, unique.
Yes.
Like, oh okay, no, I don't mean like bad as in look. I just mean bad as in that the koala has a vicious streak a mile wide. Like, if you're familiar with Monty Python, the Holy Grail, and the savage rabbit that kills people, maybe there's a koala version of that rabbit. I don't know. Probably doesn't quite fit in this world, but that was what I was taking exception to. Yes.
There you go. Okay, good save. I think some of our favorite koalas could be the bad koalas.
Could be the bad koalas, exactly.
The dark,
exactly.
The dark.
Frankly,
the dark
I feel like there could be a subset of the BKs in this whole thing.
That's right. I'm being attacked by snacks.
I can say
So yeah, I think that's it. Look for a pinned tweet to materialize on the KIA profile within the next few minutes, and then get those koalas submitted, and we'll get this process kicked off over the next week or so. And
yes,
it's going to be really cool to see what happens, and not making this explicit promise, but I think we all know we want to see plushies come out of this as well. So
most definitely.
let's get people excited about Hug Life, and gotta just say it, Hug Life to the end here.
Excellent. So yeah, I think that's it. Tweet's going to go up. Post your characters, post your thoughts, post your ideas. Go crazy, have fun, and we'll be doing another session potentially next Friday. We'll be kind of visiting. I think we can pretty much plan on something else next Friday. We'll obviously have announcements coming out, and we'll be digging into stuff from there. It'll be great.
Awesome. Excited.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you.
See you later,
We'll talk
guys.
to you soon.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Bye.